Which rookie do you feel has the most to prove? Go ahead, Gunnels.
Will Anderson for the Houston
Mm.
Texans. Because this guy's been talked about for the past, 2 or 3 years now. He was supposed to be a consensus number one pick potentially at one point. Even last year, they were talking about he could have won number one. And, Alabama's defense wasn't that good this past season. Now, obviously, it's not all on him as an individual, it's a team, a collective unit. But I'm not completely sold that he's just this generational edge rusher people keep telling me he is. Every time I watch Alabama play, he didn't pop out on the screen to me. I'm looking for you to make instant plays. Like when I'm watching Micah Parsons for Dallas, I'm seeing impact. I'm seeing impact from Nick Bosa. There's a lot of games for Alabama this past year where I'm like, is Will Anderson even out there? So I really want to see how he does year one because I think it's a lot of pressure on him to really solidify that D line there in Houston.
That's a good pick. Talk to me, Lil.
So yeah, I'm gonna go a different route. I'm not gonna pick one of the players that's been in the limelight since. Well, I'm not gonna say he hasn't been in the limelight since college, but I'm gonna go with Kayshon Boutte from LSU. And yes, he was a 6th-round pick, but the thing is while he was at LSU, it was always said that he was the best receiver coming out. He was going to be the best receiver in his draft class, this, that, and the third. We saw him kind of fall off. He fell off big the last few years at LSU. And then now it seems like he's just been lazy and not willing to put in the work. So for me, you had all this hype coming in, like you had all this hype behind you. New England got you. They got you in the 6th round. You gotta prove it. You gotta prove that all the hype that you had built up, going into LSU and everything, that it was worth it. Because as of right now, everybody looks at you like you've been lazy, like you haven't been putting in work. And even now, I think even at rookie camp, like there was some issues going on at camp too. So I think he has a lot to prove because his name was getting floated around ever since he was in college or, coming out of high school and everything. So he has a lot to prove. He got a lot to prove to me.
For me, I think that it's probably going to be Bryce Young. And I think Bryce because as if they didn't know for the last however many years he was in college. So a lot of people that's just talking about his size. And it sounds like a lot of the same criticism that Kyler Murray faced coming into the league. And so I'm interested in like how he's going to run the quarterback position, go up against these defenses. He's going to be starting day one. So I'm interested in seeing like how he's going to go up against these defenses. And these defenses love some fresh meat. Boy, I want to say the P word so bad.
I was about to say it too, but I can't.
Shooter, you cook, bro. You don't need no more shots. You fry rice over there. That's crazy.
No, for sure. One thing is, I hold it down like a frontal. You trust me, I ain't ducking no rack.
Yeah. So for me, it's Bryce. I want to see how he's going to shut up the critics because when he has bad games, it's going to be his size. When he has, you know what I'm saying, they're going to find a way when it's a mental lapse, his size. They're going to find that they just keep doing this, you know what I mean, with him. So I'm interested in seeing this, and I hope he doesn't become like Kyler Murray's okay, but we're hoping that he doesn't become like the next Kyler Murray. Who you got? Man. Who you got, Shooter?
It's crazy. I see the comments, and this is the person that I was going to pick, Jalen Carter. I feel like Jalen Carter definitely has some pressure on him. You know what I mean? He was before all the incidents off the field. He was the person that they felt like he was going to be a top 5 pick, but what he was going through off the field made him drop a little bit. So I definitely feel like he definitely has something to prove because, Jalen Carter is a dog. He's a dog at defensive tackle. And going to the situation that he's going to with the Eagles, he can learn from a Fletcher Cox that can help him, gravitate his game. Jalen Carter has a lot to prove because he had to show people, the off the field issues was the reason that y'all let me drop, but I'm going to show y'all why I should have been a top 5 pick because Jalen Carter, if you look at the tape and you look what he does on the field, he was definitely a top 5 pick. So I feel like Jalen Carter is going to let the league know why he should have been the top 5 pick, and y'all made a mistake by letting him drop where he dropped to.
And heavy to your point, I think the Eagles, their thinking is drafting him that he's essentially going to replace Hargrave, which is a tall task. So he has a lot of pressure there.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I think he'll be all right too because they drafted Nolan Smith, they got Jalen Carter, they got Nakobe Dean. You know, they've been drafting a lot of Georgia players that played in
They
that
Philadelphia
defense.
The
Bulldogs.
Eagles
Luke. They
really
the
can go to
Philadelphia
heck.
Bulldogs.
The Eagles can really go to heck for sure.
But no,
They the
more so,
Philadelphia